What if I told you that this was the 7th attempt at making this video? All to show this. This, of course, is Lego Transformers G1 Megatron and his Target Master partner, Voss. Now, if you're confused by me talking so slowly, it's because I really don't want to screw up like I did the 6 other times I tried to film this. But anyways, let's focus on Voss for a little bit. Now, as you can see, he is a sniper rifle with a bipod, a scope, a stock, and a barrel, obviously. It's a bit weird and chunky, but that's because it has to transform, and it's purple. Enough of that. On to the main attraction. Now, this is obviously Megatron in his gun mode, and I actually like it a lot, other than this gap here. Now, this barrel should be light gray, but I don't really mind, and that's for robot mode, and he doesn't have the loop, but I also don't really mind. What I do mind is this. This is really, really ugly. And that is because these joints are in such a way that the panels can only be placed on one side. So that means that this side ends up just having to be ugly. So that's about all I can really say. So on to the transformation. We'll start with Voss's transformation. It's very simple. You want to slide this forward. Bring down the bipod, rotate that, fold it up, pull out these, don't break it preferably, but if you do, then you just realize you're stupid. And then I kind of forgot this step. You want to rotate that a little bit. And then there you have Voss, and as you can see, it kind of looks like he has a sniper rifle folded up on his back, and that's kind of because he does. And yeah, he's pretty tiny. It's kind of hard to get him to stand with the sniper on his back, because you can remove the sniper. And you can get what sort of looks like G1 Megatron in gun mode. So yeah, Voss, who is Megatron's Target Master, can use Megatron as a gun pretty much. And then it becomes much easier to stand him up. But now on to Megatron. And to start the transformation, you're going to want to remove that. And just get this out of the way and start at the legs. Now this part's kind of annoying because you want to rotate that. Then rotate that. Then rotate that piece back. And rotate the cheese slope on it. Then you want to rotate this whole section, kinda, just to get it out of the way. And then this part is really annoying because you kinda want to come in here, rotate this. Well, first you want to actually take this leg and unfold it to get out of the way, because then this section is going to have to rotate in between these two clips. And it is a real pain in the buttocks. Okay, you want to come here. And rotate it. Then once you have it rotated, rotate the cheese slope. And there you go. Then you want to rotate or flip the other leg out too. Preferably without pulling it out, pulling it off. And there you go. Yeah, it's only attached by one stud, so yeah. Then you want to push these two panels out of the way, make sure the kneecaps are pushed backwards. And sorry if that was kind of off camera, but you're going to end up with the lower half of a robot. Well, now for the upper half, you're going to have to rotate it right at the waist. Just simply enough, bring down this arm. And then there's a bit more interesting stuff to do up here. So if I bring up the camera, you can see this. Now, there's some stuff locked together in here. And to unlock it, you're going to want to start up here, where you pry these two parts apart, and if that doesn't come off, you end up with that. And then you're going to want to pop that off, but you know, multiple times I've just transformed this off camera, it's never broken and never breaks when I'm transforming it, really, other than when I'm doing this part. But now that it's on camera, it just has to break. Okay, once you get everything unlocked, this part swings down, and this all just swings right behind onto his back. I want to rotate that, so then this can get through. And then you're going to want to push that backwards, fold that onto his back. As he falls apart again, oh man, then you just want to simply rotate out his hand, and there you go. Now there's only really two things you have to do. You're going to have to pull out his head, which just came off, because the way you have to pull it out is first you have to pull out the quarter pin it's attached to. And once that is out, you have to make sure that, first of all, you have to make sure his head is actually built properly. And you have to make sure this is only slightly attached to it. And then you have Megatron's head. And obviously, you need to get his fusion rifle. Fusion cannon. So here we have Megatron and Voss next to each other. There's not really much more to say about Voss, so let's get him out of the way. But on to Megatron. Now, his articulation is actually pretty good. I actually just realized I forgot to do this part. The trigger folds down and actually becomes the bottom of his waist. That's why it was black. If you don't want it to become the bottom of his waist, and you don't want the trigger to be black, you can just change it. But that's how I do it. But something that instantly just breaks what I did is he has ab crunch. It just leaves the trigger behind. So that kind of sucks, but whatever. He also has a waist swivel, forward and backward motion in the legs, as well as in and out. He actually has double jointed knees, so he can actually get almost a 180 bend on them. He also can have his fusion rifle get popped off, but that's not intentional. Now, obviously the other leg has the same amount of articulation. Then in his head, he can just kind of wobble up and down and look left and right and kind of look up and down. Then he has a ball joint in the shoulder. That kind of can knock off his whole bicep chunk occasionally, but if you're careful it won't. And then he has a ball joint in the elbow as he comes apart. Now, the way this barrel is attached, it's on multiple joints, so it can get out of the way whenever you need it to, which is pretty great, in my opinion. Now, that's really about all I can say. This video is kind of a bit short, but that's just because, like I said, I had to film this multiple times. And really, I don't want to screw it up again. If you want some more pictures to look at of this guy, I will leave a link in the description. So go down there if you want to see some more pictures, like pictures of him holding Voss, which I kind of forgot to include in this video. Well, I promised I would make a video on it, so I actually